What comes to mind when you hear the word journaling? Maybe just a notebook and pen, the idea of somebody writing about their day. Maybe they're writing Dear Diary and putting the date at the top of the page. That certainly used to be my understanding of journaling, but in actuality, there are so many different kinds of journaling. There's bullet journaling and junk journaling, creative journaling, memory keeping journaling, scrapbook journaling, art journaling, mental health journaling, reflective journaling, and on and on and on. And no wonder you are overwhelmed. If you are wondering, what is even the difference between all of these different kinds of journaling and which one is going to be right for me? You're in the right place. So what I've done is I've taken a look at some of the most popular forms of journaling and I've broken them down into 4 basic categories. Journaling for memory keeping, journaling for creative exploration, journaling for self-growth, and journaling for reflection. Now, to cover all of those categories in one video would probably be a bit much. So what I've done is I've created 4 videos on each of these topics. And this first one is going to focus on journaling for memory keeping. But if you are also interested in the other 3 categories of journaling I just mentioned, then you will want to make sure that you are subscribed and that you have the notification bell turned on because I will be talking about those other forms of journaling in my next few videos. Another place where you can learn even more about these different forms of journaling and really take a deeper dive into the one that is specifically speaking to you is Skillshare. And Skillshare is actually so kindly sponsoring this video. Skillshare is this amazing online learning community where you truly can explore your creativity to the max. There are thousands of classes available to you as soon as you join. These courses are designed by real creators and are ad-free, so you can focus on learning your new skill or just having fun, getting to play and really take care of yourself by being creative. Personally, I think Skillshare is one of the best places to begin your journey into the world of journaling because there are so many courses, not only on the various different forms of journaling that I'll be sharing with you in this video, but also on many of the art forms that maybe will help you take your journaling to the next level. Things like hand lettering and watercolor and illustration that many people love to use in their creative journals. As I mentioned in a previous video, I'm currently taking a course on Skillshare called Writing for Self-Discovery, and it is all about journaling prompts for gratitude and growth, and I've really been enjoying participating in that course. There's just something amazing about having knowledge at your fingertips and being able to just know that it is that easy to go and explore any creative pursuit your heart desires, and that to me is what Skillshare offers. So if you are interested in getting a taste of Skillshare for yourself, I do have a link in the description box, and the first 1,000 of you to click that link will get Skillshare for completely free for 30 days. So definitely go check out Skillshare to explore your creativity even more. But before you head over there, let's figure out which type of journaling is right for you by jumping into our first category. Now, I do need to provide a disclaimer that even though I have tried to organize this in a way that's easy to understand by breaking them into these 4 categories, it does not mean that journaling can nicely fit into categories all of the time. These different types of journaling are going to intersect and merge and cross over, and that is completely natural and okay. My goal in creating the categories is just to give you a place to start once you figure out your why. And knowing your why do you want to journal? What is your journal going to do for you? Is one of the most important questions to answer when deciding which type of journaling is best going to serve you? In fact, this question is so important that I'm actually going to dedicate an entire other video to the topic of figuring out your why. Why do you want to journal? So in that video, I will pose to you many different questions to consider that hopefully will help you to figure out which form of journaling best matches your why. But for now, we're just going to focus on running through the different types of journaling and really getting a sense of what they are. So as I said, today we are going to be talking specifically about journaling for memory keeping, which is my personal favorite. If you are familiar with my channel, then you know that memory keeping is one of my biggest whys when it comes to journaling. I love documenting my memories. Memory keeping to me is so central to what it means to be human. As humans, we are storytellers, we are record keepers, we are memory keepers. That's what we do as a species, honestly, because we recognize that our memories are the heart of who we are. Our past is so integral to our present, which is so important for our future and our growth. It's a way of recording history and passing on lessons to the next generation. It's a way of saying that you existed and you mattered and telling yourself in this moment that you matter. And memory keeping too is just a pleasure because there is something beautiful about nostalgia and looking back on beautiful memories and really getting to cherish those experiences that you shared with loved ones who maybe aren't here anymore, or friends that you haven't seen in a long time. And those memories can just bring back so many wonderful feelings and emotions. And memory keeping too doesn't always have to be positive. Sometimes memory keeping is a way of honoring something that happened that was really hard, but telling yourself that you made it through anyhow. Those are just a few reasons that I love the idea of memory keeping, and to me, your journal is one of the best places to do exactly that. So that's what we're going to talk about now, 4 different ways to memory keep in your journal. The first form of journaling for memory keeping is to have a daily creative journal, or as close as possible to a daily journal or an everyday journal. The idea of a daily journal, especially one that is more creative, is to capture the everyday moments of your life. Obviously, if you are documenting almost every day, then you're going to capture highlights as well. But there's something beautiful in the mundane, in the everyday moments that we all experience, whether that be walking your dog, or just making dinner, or sitting down for the evening to watch a show with your family. It might be capturing the book that you're currently reading, or a hard day at work. Those everyday things tend to be captured best in a daily journal or just regular creative journal. Daily journal, I think, tends to be a little overwhelming to people because it makes them feel like it literally needs to be every single day. That is not the case. You can call it a daily journal, your creative journal, and not have it be capturing every single day. But the ultimate idea is that you're doing regular memory keeping that documents your life and celebrates both the little things and the big things. Journaling in this way does not have to be creative. You could just be writing simple entries about your day, just pen and paper, but I do encourage you to try being a little bit creative in this type of memory keeping, because it's amazing how just some little images like a sticker of a coffee cup or a photo, or even just washi tape in certain colors that represent the emotions of that day or the season that you're in, can really just bring those memories to life. The next form of journaling is a little bit more focused than just creative journaling, but still all about memory keeping, and that is a scrapbook journaling. This has become really popular as of late, especially among those, I think, who used to be scrapbookers, but were looking for a medium that still allowed them to document their photos and their memories, but maybe didn't feel quite so prescriptive. At least for me, scrapbooking was my first step into the memory keeping world. My mom introduced me to scrapbooking when I was very young because she was an amazing scrapbooker, and I have so many memories recorded because of her and her beautiful art form. Scrapbook journaling is really focused a lot more on the photos, as you can imagine. So if you are somebody who loves to take photos, somebody who has scrapbooked in the past, and you're looking for another way to document those memories maybe a little bit quicker, I often find that people who scrapbook get a little overwhelmed by scrapbooking, and I find that scrapbook journaling for some reason just feels a little bit more low-key and allows you to turn out pages and memories faster. Scrapbook journals can use as much writing as they want, of course, but I find that they tend to use less writing than is in a typical journal, or maybe even no writing at all at times. Usually they are focusing more on the photo and allowing the photo to speak for itself with just a header or a tagline or brief comments about the memory associated with the photo. So if you are somebody who currently scrapbooks or have always been intrigued by the idea of scrapbooking and documenting all of those photos you have stored away on your phone or camera, and if you love pretty stickers and journaling cards and papers, then scrapbook journaling might just be the right form of journaling for you. The next kind of journaling for memory keeping is a hobby journal. Now, this I'm using as more of a catch-all term for any kind of hobby that you are interested in, but specifically I'm going to give you two examples, which are a travel journal and a recipe journal. So a travel journal is exactly what it sounds like. It is journaling about your travels and vacations and all of the wonderful exotic places that you like to go to. And it's really about documenting the memories specifically associated with the places you have been. The culture, the food, the experiences, the sights, and what you did in that place. Maybe you even want to expand into the history of the place, things like that. You can do this actually on the trip and bring your journal with you and journal as you're having these experiences. I know there are great examples of travel journalers who actually take their journal with them and then do a sketch of what they are seeing, or bring a whole watercoloring set and do a beautiful painting of the beach that they're sitting on. Personally, when I travel journal, I don't do the journaling on my trip. I wait until the trip is over and then use the travel journal experience as a reflective moment, looking back on all of the great memories I had, and then bring in photos and talk about some of the experiences. Either way, traveling is such a privilege and wonderful experience, and being able to document those memories is so special. Another example of a hobby journal is a recipe journal. So if you are somebody who loves to cook or to bake and maybe even makes your own recipes, especially if you want to pass those recipes on to the next generation through your children and your grandchildren, I highly recommend creating a recipe journal. This is exactly what it sounds like. You have a journal where you are capturing some of your favorite recipes and some of your personal family recipes. So you can document the ingredients and the process to make the meal that you're talking about. But what makes a recipe journal a little bit different than just having a card catalog of your recipes is that you also incorporate memories. So often, food is connected to amazing memories in our lives, times around the dinner table, at Christmas or Thanksgiving, or just a special Sunday dinner meal, whatever it may be, maybe making cookies with your kids. And that has so many memories attached to it. And so it's really special to not just have the recipe, but also some of the memories and experiences documented there right alongside it. You can also use this as a place to get creative and use photos and stickers and things as well. Recipes in and of themselves are just such a special and sentimental gift So imagine how amazing it would be to also pair them with memories and have them all collected in one place to be able to enjoy for yourself, but then also to pass on to the next generation. The next type of journaling is called listography, and this is one of the best ways to journal for brand new beginners who want to start memory keeping but just aren't sure where to start. This is also really great if you're somebody who feels overwhelmed by trying to capture things as they are happening. I know personally daily journaling or doing weekly journaling where you're trying to capture the days as they're happening can be really overwhelming when you start to feel like you're falling behind. But the nice thing about listography is it's not based on time at all. Listography is memory keeping that isn't necessarily tied to a date or a specific experience, but it's more generally just documenting things about you. And it usually entails a prompt to generate a list of things that you can then document some aspect of your life or experiences. So here are just a few examples to get you started. You could create a list on things I love about the spring, things that really get on my nerves, my favorite hobbies, or books, or movies, or insert anything of your choice here. Things I wish I knew when I was a teenager, or my favorite spots in my home or in my neighborhood, my favorite restaurants, and on and on. Literally, you could create endless topics for lists. And then, of course, the idea is that you take that topic or that prompt and you just create a simple list. You could limit yourself to a specific number of things. Maybe it's 5 things I love about the spring, maybe it's 10, or maybe it's just however many I can come up with. There really are no limits to how you want to do this. The idea is that you just create a simple list. You can do this in a bulleted format. You can just write a word or two for each one. For example, again, if we're using the things I love about the spring example, I could just write tulips, and then I could write clear blue skies, or I could write evening rainstorms. Any of those things would work. Or if I want to, I can get a little bit more involved in the writing and write a really beautiful paragraph about why I love the tulips. So that's what I really love about listography, is you can make it as detailed or as simple as you want it to be. If you feel like you're not a strong writer and it intimidates you to put your words on the page and to write full sentences, listography is a great way to still memory keep and document things about your life and who you are and your experiences, but at the same time to do it in a very, very simple format. As is true with all of these different forms of journaling as well, you can either make this super creative and bring in stickers or illustrations to also help represent what you're talking about in your list, or you could just keep it simple and only about the writing. If this idea of listography intrigues you, I highly recommend you check out Lail by Mail on YouTube. She has an amazing channel that does a lot of different forms of kind of scrapbook journaling and different types of creative journaling, but one of her biggest things that she does is listography. She has a wonderful hashtag called Listers Gotta List, I think it is, and they have this regular gathering on Saturday afternoons, at least my time, where they sit down and create a page based on a specific list prompt that they all work from. It's a super fun time. I join in every now and then, and it's a great way to be part of the journaling community. So those are the 4 kinds of memory keeping journaling that I wanted to share with you in this video. But as I said, this is going to be a series of 4 videos, so make sure that you stay tuned for the next one, which is going to be all about journaling for creative exploration. So make sure that you have subscribed and turn on the notification bell so you get notified when that video comes out. If you want to learn more about journaling for memory keeping, I have tons and tons and tons of videos here on my channel that will hopefully inspire you and teach you even more about the many ways that you can use your journal to document your life. And as I said, Skillshare is another amazing way to learn a lot more about the different forms of journaling and also some amazing skills that you can then apply to your journaling. So do check out that link to Skillshare down below, and thank you again, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a big thumbs up and let me know down in the comments which type of memory keeping journaling do you do, or which of these most intrigued you. And let me know too in the comments which of the next forms of journaling videos are you most excited about. Let me know down below and I will look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Until then, keep exploring your abiding creativity and document a life abiding in faith, hope, and love.